What's up, y'all? It's your boy DK, man, coming today with a new video. So look, man, this video right here, Slim, I don't even know what's going on, y'all. We gotta react to the new news. You know I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, die hard, but what are we doing, y'all? Brian Schottenheimer, Schottenheimer, whatever his name is, that's our new coach, y'all. None of the other coaches that are available on the market. We stayed in-house to the already problematic coaching staff that we have. So, man, shout out Mikerophone for this video, y'all. I don't pre-watch my videos when I do reactions. I'm watching this along with y'all. We're going to get straight into this one and see if we can try to make some sense out of this situation.
Well, the Cowboys have been discussing with Brian Schottenheimer how that situation would evolve. To Kellen Moore, they've met with Robert Saleh, they've met with Leslie Frazier.
All better coaches, by the way. More experienced coaches, by the way.
If you happen to be a fan of a rebuilding team or a retooling team that recently fired their head coach, one of the most exciting moments could be anticipating who the next head coach is, particularly if your favorite team happens to be a team that has the longest NFC championship drought in the entire conference. Particularly because the owner of the team decided to can the previous coach that brought you tremendous success. And unfortunately,
Jerry Jones, Jerry Jones. You gotta go, Slim. You gotta go. Some has to change, bro. Sad to say, nothing's gonna happen until we get rid of Jerry Jones. Just like the situation over there with the Commanders. Now, obviously, their situation was a little bit different. Their ownership was a lot worse than ours, on the field and off the field. But, Jerry, you gotta go. You're holding us back, bro. What are you doing?
over the past year, the Dallas Cowboys have reached a brand new level when it's come to incompetence. I mean,
Yeah,
I can't think of a single moment this past year where the Cowboys have made a decision that I truly could get behind. And this stems all the way to last offseason where Jerry Jones said this.
How do we feel about where we've been in this free agency? We feel great about what we've been in free agency. All in. All in.
This is my thing with Jerry, right? He kept talking about this all in, we're going all in. You literally didn't sign nobody throughout free agency. We had basically the same roster that we had the previous year. Already know we needed help with the run game. Derrick Henry was on the market. There's other running backs that were on the market as well. Already know we needed receivers. There were a lot of good free agency choices for a receiver. I remember at one point they were talking about getting Stephon Diggs over here. Whatever happened to that? He ended up going to Texans. Then not only those issues, we wait to the very last minute to sign CD and Dak. Give them the biggest contracts when if you had signed them earlier, right after the season was over, we would have had a lot more money. You see what I'm saying? You wait to the very last minute, you got guys holding out. Now you want to give them these big, ginormous contracts? How does that make sense from a businessman standpoint, y'all? I go to Howard University. We got one of the top business programs out of all colleges, not just HBCUs. I think he need to come over here and take a course. Because that don't even make sense to somebody that's not a business major.
All in. We're all in with these young guys.
And then proceeded to make a series of terrible decisions for the front office, primarily waiting way too long to pay Dak Prescott,
Like I said,
Lamb, which siphoned valuable cap space away from this team that could have been used to sign a running back, which this team desperately needed.
Exactly.
Derrick Henry was clearly interested in signing with the Dallas Cowboys, but they didn't even call him.
Did Dallas?
I'm glad they playing this clip. Basically what they gonna say in this clip, y'all. I'm glad they playing this. Derrick Henry wanted to be a Cowboy. We never can get a star player from another team. I think Jerry only wants to focus on the draft, making people Cowboys and becoming stars, you know, from being a Cowboy day one. I don't think he likes to get players, like other star players from other teams. It's something about that just makes him say, nah, we're not going to get him. Derrick Henry, top 5 running back in the whole entire league. Nah, pass on him. We're going to stick with Dinwiddie, who's been on our team, and he's, you know, come on, man. Like, he wanted to be a Cowboy. Cowboys never even reached out. Like, never even called the man and said, hey, how do you feel about coming over here? Like, not even entertaining it. They never even reached out, y'all. Sad.
They involved in the Derrick Henry sweepstakes?
Dallas didn't even, not at all. Beyond whether or not we have Derrick Henry or not. Derrick Henry is having a career year. I don't know if he'd be having that career year in our situation.
Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he be having that career year in our situation? Why wouldn't he? If you tell Dak, Say sit, hut, hand the ball off. Why wouldn't he have that career situation? You think he just went over there to Baltimore? They didn't scheme him into their rotation. They didn't scheme Derrick Henry into their plays the same way that you could have did. This is what I'm saying. I don't even know how much football knowledge Jerry Jones has, bruh. Like, the excuses that I get from this man and that I hear him say don't even add up to make any type of sense to anybody that watches football. Look how this man is looking at Jerry Jones right now. Nobody believes what you're saying, bro.
It's really something you really do have to look at. Derrick Henry didn't fit because principally of managing the cap in anticipation of the players that we were going to sign weeks later, or anticipation of the players we're going to be signing.
So because you waited all that time to re-sign Dak and CD, instead of doing it the first chance you had, so it wouldn't cost as much money, we say, nah, we just going to keep waiting, man. We ain't going to get Derrick Henry because we got to sign them too, and we're going to pay them the biggest contracts we've ever. Like, come on, man. Stop what you're doing.
Season. I mean, early on in the season when the Dallas Cowboys got off to a poor start, Dak Prescott said this. And then when they got destroyed by the Atlanta Falcons, you saw Dak Prescott literally saying that the team sucks on the sidelines. There's just significant cultural issues with the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, Jerry Jones is flying into practice on a helicopter.
Flying into practice. Jerry Jones want everything to be about him, y'all. He flying into the practice on a helicopter. You're not a player, bro. This is the only owner you hear about on a day-to-day basis. I never hear anything about Kansas City's owner. I never hear anything about the Baltimore Ravens owner. All the good teams in the NFL, you don't hear their owner trying to talk for the team, trying to talk for the coach, and try to go out and do this. And it's only Jerry, y'all. What's going on? Like, somebody needs to help this man.
I mean, Jerry Jones is flying into practice on a helicopter. Ezekiel Elliott was habitually tardy, and the incompetence was on multiple levels. I mean, yes, you could blame Mike McCarthy for some poor play calling and game management mistakes, but
definitely.
This last season, he never even stood a chance. The previous 2 seasons I'll hold against him because he had one of the most talented teams in the entire NFC, only to choke in the first round of the playoffs versus the Green Bay Packers.
Still haunts me to this day.
Defenses in the NFL, he'd lose in the previous 2 seasons in the playoffs relatively earlier than he was expected to. But it's not just that. I mean, the front office was a disaster. You could have traded for DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams, Mike Williams, Deontay Johnson. You could have brought...
I ain't gonna lie. All of them, I would have wanted to see D-Hop on the team. I rock with DeAndre Hopkins, bro. That's one receiver that's gonna give you his all every play, every game. I rock with, bro. I really would have wanted to see him on that sideline. I would have liked to keep Amari Cooper, one of the top receivers in the league. Instead of that, we go out and we get Jonathan Mingo, somebody you've never heard about, somebody who barely played at the team that they were already playing with. Then when he got to the team, all these players that he just mentioned, DeAndre Hopkins, Amari Cooper, bruh that went to either the Steelers from the Ravens or the Ravens. Deontay Johnson, I think his name was, I can't remember. I ain't trying to rewind it back. But with that being said, all of those guys had a touchdown in their first game with their new team. Jonathan Mingo didn't even start playing until a couple games later, bro. Like, what is going on with the management of this team, bro? Trey Lance, I don't know what we decided to bring him over here for. Pointless. Y'all just ruined that man's career. Literally.
So they could avoid paying Cooper Rush a $500,000.
Now, this was wrong right here. Cooper Rush was... he was like so far away from hitting another incentive. They gonna take him out so he doesn't hit it and put Trey Lance in the game. That was actually dirty, bro. This is what I'm talking about. What's going on with this organization, bro? I rock with Cooper Rush. Don't do my man like that.
On multiple levels, this team just seems to not know what they're doing, and Jerry Jones thinks he can manipulate his fans into having faith in them.
He's not manipulating me.
And I'll say this as a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan, we all know that the Cowboys don't care about winning Super Bowls. The Dallas Cowboys care about making money. They
exactly.
care about generating as much media attention towards them as humanly possible to get the media talking about them to stay relevant. They're like that girl that was popular in high school that you follow on Instagram that has nothing going on for her now, so that she decided to soft launch launch an OnlyFans account and won't stop posting it on her story.
Literally.
Anything for attention, but
Anything for
eventually
attention,
not
Jerry
succeeding.
Jones.
Meanwhile, you have the Dallas Cowboys who are just peddling false hope to their fans. Already has 60% of their salary cap space allocated towards Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and soon Micah Parsons, and are currently trying to find their next head coach. Now, I will admit, some of the candidates look very promising. Like the Dallas Cowboys brought in
I wouldn't have been
Robert
mad at
Saleh for an interview. And personally,
Robert
I don't
Saleh.
think that's the worst idea, because historically the Dallas Cowboys' biggest strength was their defense, but that left with Dan Quinn. Other interviews weren't necessarily the most exciting, but they made sense. I mean, the Cowboys always were interested in Kellen Moore. He used to be their offensive coordinator, so they completed an interview with Kellen Moore. Some of these were just not exciting at all whatsoever. Like, for instance, the Cowboys decided to interview Leslie Frazier.
Waste of
And
time.
I want to say this may have been a Rooney Rule interview, because Leslie Frazier was once the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings from 2010 to 2013, but he wasn't necessarily the greatest. Since then, he's just been hopping around the league as a defensive coordinator. He hasn't really stuck anywhere for a long time. And this past year, he was the assistant head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. But the biggest name on this entire list that truly is upsetting Dallas Cowboy fans is none other than Brian Schottenheimer. And he is the leading candidate to potentially be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And this is probably the most frustrating candidate on this list.
Who is this man, y'all?
Take a look at Schottenheimer's track record. It isn't necessarily impressive at all whatsoever. He was the QB coach of the Washington Redskins in 2001, where he had the 28th ranked offense. He was the QB coach of the San Diego Chargers from 2002 to 2005, and Drew Brees didn't really figure out how to be a good quarterback until the 04 and 05 season. He was terrible in his first 2 seasons with the team. He would then become the offensive coordinator of the New York Jets from 06 to 2011, and they weren't good on offense at all whatsoever. Despite the 2009, 2010, and 2011 Jets being stacked. He would then go to the St. Louis Rams from 2012 to 2014.
How do these people still be getting all these jobs? Like, I don't understand that. In the real world, if you go to a couple different organizations or businesses, whatever, and you don't do well, ain't no more jobs for you. These guys just get to just hop and flip around the league, go to teams 2 and 3 times, become head coaches with no experience for real, with bad track records. What's going on, y'all? Like, all this is a fluke. Everything is rigged.
Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys didn't have one interview with him. They had 2 interviews with Schottenheimer, meaning that he is their leading candidate. They didn't pursue Ben Johnson. They didn't even give Joe Brady an interview. There's so many...
Same thing like they didn't do with Derrick Henry. They ain't even pick up the phone and call, bruh.
Better head coaching candidates still available. I mean, Liam Cohen is still available technically. He still hasn't signed the extension with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They didn't interview Todd Monken. They didn't even bring in Cliff Kingsbury. They decided to hire Marty Schottenheimer's son, who's had a very pedestrian track record, presumably because he would just smile and nod and listen to everything Jerry Jones wants him to do. This sucks because you could clearly tell the Cowboys don't know what they're doing. I mean, they could have conveyed to Bill Belichick that they would happily hire him if they just came out and said that they were firing Mike McCarthy with just a few games left in the season.
Exactly.
Or they just fired Mike McCarthy a little prematurely. Our season was going nowhere anyway. But even then, they decided to wait a week to fire Mike McCarthy, and then they didn't even interview Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn, and they started scrambling, putting out Deion Sanders rumors.
I don't even know why they put out that rumor about Deion, because y'all already know if Deion's going to coach in the NFL level, he's only going to want to coach Shador or Shiloh. If Shador or Shiloh, mainly Shador, ain't coming to your team, which he's not coming to the Cowboys, the only way that would have worked out is literally if Dak would have said, you know what, I'm walking. That would have been the only way that would have worked out, and Deion would have even came. But Deion wasn't going to come because he's not going to sit there and listen to Jerry Jones, y'all. Deion then took a 0 and a 1 and 11 Colorado team, whatever record they had, and turned them around and made them like a program that people are talking about again. You think he about to come over here with Jerry Jones trying to run the show and he's going to listen to Jerry? You're tripping. You're crazy. So I already knew that wasn't going to happen. I don't even know why they threw that out there trying to make it seem like that was even a possibility. Then that's a real slap in the face to us as fans that he would even put that out there. Say they going to get that he's going to get somebody to the caliber of Deion Sanders and then go and hire Schottenheimer, fool. Like, that's just a slap in the face. Like, literally a slap in the face. Like, you care nothing about us. Like, what?
But it's official, ladies and gentlemen. According to Adam Schefter, the Dallas Cowboys are hiring offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer as their new head coach. Brian
Schottenheimer is known as a career assistant, Jones said. He ain't Brian no more. He is now the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. He thought that quote was okay to put out. What's going on with his headspace, y'all? You thought to basically drag on somebody, oh yeah, he's known as just an assistant. Why would you even put that in there? You should have just said, you know what? Brian Schottenheimer is our new coach of the Dallas Cowboys. I have nothing but, faith and hope. Like, he's known as a career assistant. Like, you really had to throw that out there, bro?
Is known as a career
This
assistant.
is how he treats his people.
Schefter continues to say at the age of 51, Brian Schottenheimer lands his first NFL head coaching job. He's going to have his introductory press conference on Monday, January 27th. The Cowboys interviewed Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, former Jets head coach
Robert Saleh, Leslie Frazier, even Deion Sanders. I would have took Deion over Schottenheimer. What's going on with us, man?
Former Vikings.
Then you going ahead and you throwing that out there. Oh, he's not an assistant no more. That just goes to show you that he's not qualified. You just told everybody that's looking at this tweet he should not be here. But because I like him and he's my yes man, I got him.
And it gets way worse once you find out who the Dallas Cowboys are looking at for their defensive coordinator. So how do I feel about this? I mean, I gotta admit, I'm used to being disappointed by this franchise at this point.
Yep, I ain't gonna lie. If Deion would have came in, he would have shifted the whole culture. All that being late, all that not listening and going out there doing your own thing, that would have been done. I ain't gonna say we would have had the best season off rip, but we definitely would have got some pieces over there. People would have been wanting to come play with Deion. And he would have had some better coaching staffs in there, for sure. I can guarantee you that. It would have been a whole bunch of old retired players that would have came over and wanted to coach.
I feel like we're going to switch places with the Washington Commanders for the next decade. This team has no cap space. They clearly don't know how to manage the salary cap, as you saw with CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. Lord knows we're probably going to overpay Micah Parsons as well. The one redeeming quality that the Cowboys have always had was the fact that they were really good at drafting players sometimes. But my top candidate in this head coaching cycle, the one individual I wanted the Cowboys to hire, was Robert Saleh.
Me too.
Primarily because the Dallas Cowboys' identity was on defense over the past couple of years. How could you have any hope or optimism for the future if you're the Dallas Cowboys right now? There's virtually none.
No optimism. I'm kind of done. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm still a Cowboys fan at heart, but this upcoming season in 2025, I might not even root for nobody, y'all. I might just literally watch football. Like, I might just watch football games. Because this is ridiculous. I don't even know what to say no more, y'all. Let me know what y'all think in the comments about this hire. Us going ahead and promoting our offensive coordinator, who already didn't do a good job this season because we had a terrible offense by my standards and by most football fan standards. We go ahead and make him the head coach. Two reasons for this. Yes, Jerry Jones needed a yes man, but we don't have no money, y'all. Like, just plain and simple. Like, the Cowboys have no money. We gave all of our money to Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. I rock with CeeDee. I like Dak, man, but he's kind of throwing me off, bro. We paid him all that money, and now he hasn't even played the whole season. The whole thing is in his hands because we can't trade him. Like, he has all the power in this situation, y'all. Now we got a head coach that doesn't know what he's doing, y'all. So, look, I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Make sure that y'all like, comment, subscribe. We on our way to 500 subscribers. Please subscribe, bro. Almost like 100% of y'all, like 97% of y'all watch the videos, but y'all aren't subscribed. Please just hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you any money. It just shows me that you're rocking with the content, y'all. So I appreciate y'all. It's your boy DK, plugged in over here. I'm gone.